Hello, and thank you for clicking on my channel, Kelly Legends Media. First of all, thank you for all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate you very, very much, and I appreciate seeing you on the comments. For those of you who haven't subscribed, if you can, please hit that subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell, so that way you'll be notified whenever a new video comes out. And if you like this content, definitely hit subscribe. I know there's a lot of different channels out there that talk about prison and jail, but that's not all we talk about. Although a lot of my videos have been about that, because I see that that's where I get the most views. But we also want to talk about our culture. We want to talk about some history and some current events, and keep the channel a little bit versatile, which I've been advised not to do. But nevertheless, that was my intention when I set out to do this channel. So I'm going to have to mix it up just a little bit to stay true to myself. Anyways, that being said, I want to go ahead with this story. Somebody asked me to do a video on Supermax. This is a LA County jail, part of the LA County jail system. When they built Supermax, I believe I was one of the first buses there. Not the first bus, but one of them. Maybe the second, third bus, because the facility was empty. And what they did was they brought bus loads of us in there, basically to clean up all the mess that the construction workers left behind. All the little pieces of metal from the welding of the beds, paint chips and stuff that they scraped off the wall. It had a lot of stuff in it. We needed to clean that place up for ourselves. Firstly, inside the what are they called? These would be called pods, I guess. They had an upstairs and downstairs, shower on the top, shower on the bottom. And rather than bars, they had these real thick wrought irons, at least maybe an inch and a half or 2 inch by 2 inch square, separated about so far, covering the fronts of the pods. And they had a station right in the middle where the sheriff would sit, where he could watch all the pods. I think there was 3 pods in each area, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while. I'm sure it's changed since I've been there, just like a lot of the facilities have changed since I visited. I haven't been incarcerated since 2005, when I paroled. Anyways, so this is the story. At least part of it, okay? We were a working dorm, as I just mentioned. And a lot of us, had night shift and a day crew. So some of us slept in the day, some in the night. Of course, during the day when you're trying to sleep, there's not too much respect for your sleep. There's people slamming dominoes, talking loud, yelling from the bottom to the top, all the stuff that you just can't help. But at night it was different, because mostly everybody was asleep, and we had a good thing going there, and a good agreement going there to keep it down, low during the night so the workers can sleep. Everybody respected it, until one day a guy showed up who decided he wasn't going to. Guy was loud, he was obnoxious, rude. Sometimes he would just talk to himself coming down the stairs, and he'd be banging on nobody, just banging away, I guess in invisible people, I don't know. I don't think the guy was a J-Cat. I just think the guy was wired too tight, man, and maybe he was just had too much anxiety. I don't know what this guy's problem was, but he was asked to quiet it down by several of the people who were trying to sleep, and he basically told everybody to stick it in their neck. He wasn't having it. And finally, I got fed up. He was bothering me too. I couldn't take it no more, and I sat up and I told him, "Look, man, I tried to talk to him right. I says, we've been doing this for the past 6 months. Everything's been cool, but you're missing the whole." Man, he cut me short with all kinds of FUs. He served me a bowl of dicks. Shut up, dick, and blah blah blah. And who do you think you are, blah. And I got up off my bunk, and my intention was to go and wring his neck, right? But when I looked to the front, I seen the deputy. He was leaned back on his chair with his legs crossed, and I think this guy woke him up too. But now he's awake and he's watching what's going on. So I'm sitting on my bunk, man. I'm huffing and puffing, man. I'm hot, right? Everybody around me is like, hey, Lucky, kick back, man. You know, chill, you know. And anyways, I went ahead and I chilled out. I was there with a real good camarada of mine. His name was Pequeño from Lomas. Rest in peace, Pequeño. Good dude. Excellent tattoo artist, and he drew bad, right? Anyways, that's for another video, but he was on my left-hand side up on the top. And he leans over real quiet and he says, hey, Lucky, we'll get at him later. Don't trip. I'm like, all right. So finally, I was able to go back to sleep. Ignored him until I was out. So the next day, he's coming down the stairs, right? And I get up and I make a beeline for him. And this guy walks straight up to the bars and he start talking now like, hey, man, what's wrong with you, essay? You know, what you gonna do? You know, and he like, was telling on me, you know? And I'm like, damn, like that. So I just like played it off like, you know, I'm going upstairs and I ignored him. So later on that evening, he started the same thing. So I was already trying to think, what am I going to do about this problem? Anyways, the next day for breakfast, me and Pequeño always went and ate together. So we went to the chow hall and we had our meal and stuff. And then dude was sitting like 2 tables down in where we could see him good, right? And I told Pequeño, let's go back before he gets up so we could catch him on the way back and I could get at him, right? So me and Pequeño walked back and this place is full of cameras everywhere. In fact, when they would ask me to go somewhere like to medical, the first time they asked me, they sent me by myself. I didn't know where medical was. I never been in that facility. And on my way over there, the officer was talking to me through speakers, like from somewhere far, because I was just in a hallway, and he'd be like, "Okay, go down to the next end of the next hall, make a right, then you're gonna make a left on the first opportunity." And I'm like, "Oh shit, this guy's watching me walk down this hall, and I'm looking for the cameras." They didn't even have the cameras where you could see them. I don't know where they put them, how they did this, but they could see you. So, anyways. I knew pretty much there was cameras everywhere, except when you go up the stairs and then they make a turn and then they go up the next flight. On that little curve there, you know, it was like a little blind spot. They had you going up, they had you coming down, but not in that little turnaround, right? So me and Pequeño posted up there, right? So here comes dude walking up the stairs and he sees me. And he starts walking up the stairs like he don't care, you know. He's not scared. He was committed to his words, you know. And there was 2 guys with him walking behind him that were with him. And as soon as he got close enough, we just engaged, right? And we got busy and stuff. And I made my point. And the guys that were with him asked me, "Hey man, that's it, you know, that's it, you know, be cool." And Pequeño was telling me, "Come on, homie, let's go before, you know, the juras come. It's all good. Let's just go. You made your point." So we go back. Before the juras come, my butt cheeks, these fools came. They came deep, you know, and they seen everything. You know, I guess we were popping in and out of their eye shot, you know, as we were scuffling, you know. So they came and they gaffled me up and they gaffled him up, and they took me to the pre-hole, right? Well, the pre-hole is where high power is now, and the cells are all glass doors and all glass windows. They have a speaker in your cell where the deputy could talk to you and tell you, hey, 10 minutes to chow, or, get ready for a visit, or whatever they tell you through the speaker. Of course, you don't get a visit in the pre-hole, but it's just an example of what they can do. Then you had a window to the back of the cell, a long rectangular window, and you had your desk, your toilet, and everything, all aluminum, and your bed. Nice cells, and then they were brand new. So I was loving it in there, man. It was cool, But then it came time to go to sergeant's court. So I go to sergeant's court, and they give me time in the hole. The hole was bad. The hole was all cement. Everything was cement in there, no metal. And the door was a metal door with a small flap on it where they would come and open it, and in count time, and look in through the door and then close it. So you were in there in a shut cell, all cement. It was cold. That I wanted to get out of there ASAP. It was a little bit of suffering. Nothing to cry about, but I wanted to get back to program, right? And only 2 weeks went by. I still had hold time, but they called me again for another sergeant's court. So I thought I had another case. Maybe they see me doing something else. I didn't know. But when I went, instead, they sent me back to my building and told me, that's it. We're kicking you out. We're giving you an early kick out. Just get back to your building. Don't, you're done. So I'm going back, and I'm like, what the heck? What's happening here? So I get to the building. I make up my bed, jump in my bunk, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, wow, man, that was weird, but cool. I'm out of there. And I had a little Bible in there because that's all they gave you. If you wanted something to read, that's what you were going to read. I didn't mind. I like reading the Bible. And I said, I grabbed it and I opened it up, and I read this verse about when that a dog will return to its own vomit like a fool returns to his own folly. Right when I just finished reading that line, they called my name, wrote it up for release. And I was gone. Now, at that time, county jail was giving these early kickouts. You wouldn't even know when you were going to get out. When they decided to kick you out, you got kicked out. People would be surprised, like, dang, I had this much time left, but they were called early kickouts. So I got an early kickout. And what I presumed happened was I was on the early kickout list, and when I went to sergeant's court, they knew it. They probably figured I just sent dude back. He's going to get out today anyways. No point in keeping him here. Get him back over there, and he could get ready and leave. So I think that was the reason, and the only reason why I got out of the hole as early as I did. Anyways, so I left Pequeño behind, and I went about my business. And like that fool, returned to my own folly. There's a video on that. One of my videos. It's called, I don't know what I called it, but that's what the real intent was, to explain what I said about a dog returns to his vomit like a fool returns to his folly or his foolishness. But then I remembered another saying that the guys in there would use. They said, at the gate at 8, in the spoon by noon. And one of my subscribers said, yeah, and back at the door at 4. That part I never heard. That was cool. Thanks for that. Anyways, that's my little story about Supermax. It was a little adventure there. It was a new place at the time. The next time I went back, it was filled up. That place was off the chain. I mean, it was fully active, totally different place from the first time that I had gotten released from there. And I have a story about a deputy that was working there. And I don't know what his mindset was, but he seemed to always want to challenge me at certain things. And that's I'm going to do that in my next video. I'm going to explain how this deputy behaved and And this deputy actually, he ran a fade with me, He gave that to me, he said something, I said something back, and I had spent like 6 months working with this guy, and we were both young, and he talked his partner into it, and Pequeño came along for the ride just to check it out. He couldn't believe it, but I'm gonna tell that story on another video. Anyways, these are just stories, man. Just something to think about. A little bit of my past. Obviously, I don't condone this type of violence or anything. Of course, when you got to do what you got to do, you got to handle your business. But nevertheless, let's guard our freedom. Let's be there for our children. Be good, strong fathers. I failed so bad in that area and wasted so much time incarcerated, in and out, in and out, in and out. For 19 years, it was just a vicious cycle. And I regret it. My kids know it. I have a tattoo that comes around my neck that says in Spanish, "Forgive me, my children, for my crazy life. Perdónenme, mis hijos, por mi vida loca." And that was from the heart, because my children suffered. Let's not suffer our children with our foolishness. Let's do good. Let's stay out. Let's do the right thing. Let's enjoy this freedom that we have. And thank you for watching this video. If you stood with me to the end, hit that subscribe button and get some more stories. You could unsubscribe anytime you'd like if you're not happy at any time. But join the Cali Legends family and just check out some stories. I have a lot of them already. Not a lot. This channel's only, like I said, a month and a couple of weeks old. So there's not a lot, but there's some stories already that are piling up little by little. Go back, watch them, enjoy them. And hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.